Hey everybody, Rich here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up an IMAP email account from Windows XP all the way back to Windows 3.1, which is why this video is labeled as retro, because I'm going to go way far back. The account I'll be using is from AOL for an email account I do not use. I do use AOL Mail normally, just not this specific account. The first question you're probably going to ask is, why AOL? Well, it's very simple. When you go into the settings area, there is IMAP and POP. Now, IMAP is also offered on Gmail, but on AOL, you can use the imap.aol.com server with or without SSL connectivity. So this is especially important in older Windows that do not exactly, how should I put it, play nice with SSL. You need something which is just a plain server connectivity for IMAP. And to do that, Gmail doesn't have that. Gmail does have IMAP, but you have to use SSL. And on older Windows, it doesn't work that well. But with non-SSL, you can totally do it. So that's why I am using an AOL Mail account. Now, you're also going to see versions of Thunderbird as I go through these Windows operating systems. And you're probably going to ask, oh, where can I get Thunderbird? Older versions of Thunderbird. You get it from ftp.mozilla.org/pub/thunderbird/releases, whatever. I will have this listed in the show notes. If you're seeing this on PCMech.com, you'll see it in the article. If you're seeing this on YouTube, just look at the notes below the video for links. What you do when you go to get Thunderbird is that you go ftp.mozilla.org pub Thunderbird releases, and then 2.0, which I used here, you just go to Win32, and then you pick your localization, which in the United States is EN-US, and then it's right here, Thunderbird setup 20024exe. So with that said, I'm going to go for it, and I'll start with XP and work my way back. You're going to see some jump cuts in this video because I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch me loading the operating system, just actually getting to the actual email setup. So with that said, here we go. Alright, going to start with an operating system. A lot of you are still using XP. Let's go. Now, being this is still a somewhat current operating system, you have a lot of mail client choices to choose from. You most likely want to use the ones that are free. You can go with Outlook Express, Mozilla Thunderbird 3, which I know I have installed in here. Oh, there it is, yeah, Mozilla Thunderbird 3.19, or later. Or Windows Live Mail. For this one, I'm going to use Windows Live Mail because it works in XP and above and not in 2000 or lower. So while we're in here, add a mail account and let's go. Email address, password, manually configure for account, imap.aol.com, login ID, outgoing server smtp.aol.com, requires authentication, next, finish, downloads folders, adds extra folders that I didn't want it to. I'm showing this on purpose because IMAP is a pain in the ass on Windows Live Mail, but we gotta deal with it. Okay, so right click, properties, change that to my email account name, servers, yeah, it's fine, advanced, don't need SSL, oh yeah, the outgoing has to be changed to 587 for the port, 143 is fine for the incoming, server timeout, I extend that to 2 minutes, just in case, and here's the special folders, crap. We change all this. Sent items is just sent. Drafts is drafts. Deleted items is, what is it? Trash. Junk path is spam. Apply. Okay. Refresh. Yes. And we get rid of the folders that Windows Live Mail put in here. Deleted items, delete. Yes. Junk email, delete. And sent items, delete. There we go. Now we're looking proper. Let's see. Show or hide. I can't remember how to turn on the reading pane. I haven't used this client in a while. Oh, I think it's... oh, yeah, layout. Okay. Show the reading pane. Apply. Okay. And there is my mail. Cancel. So I will send a new email to myself. New test to me from Windows Live Mail. Test mail to me from Windows Live Mail. Send. And let's see. Oh, there it is. Sent it to me. Did it put it in the sent folder? Oh, might not have. Nope, it put it in the storage. Why did it do that? Accounts, properties, store. It's supposed to put it there. It didn't. Well, that's okay. Drag over here. Oh, wait a minute. I know why. It's probably because I didn't restart the client after making my modifications. Windows Live Mail. Wait for the send receive crap. Okay, okay, new. Test from Windows Live Mail 2. Copy, paste, send. Yes, there we go. Now I put it in the sent folder. So a word to the wise, when you change your special folders location, you do have to restart the client once. And I should have, there it is. And there is my Live Mail 2. Okay, so we are done with this. Now we'll move on to Windows 2000. Alright, next operating system, Windows 2000 Professional. For this one, I am going to use Thunderbird 319. Because Windows Live Mail is not supported in this, you can alternatively use Outlook Express, which I have installed if you want to. If you do have Microsoft Office, you could use something like Outlook 2000 or 2003 or whatever, but I'm going to stick to the free clients here, so we'll do Thunderbird 319, fresh install. Okay, name, email address, password. By the way, before continuing, I do not like the way Thunderbird sets up, Thunderbird 3 sets up email accounts. It is dumb. And you'll see what I mean in a second. Yeah, see, I got the username wrong because it didn't put in the complete address. So what I do is after, you just choose IMAP or POP and just go to manual setup. And it's much easier just to go about it this way. So, okay, let's see. There is my name, yep. And yeah, I did get it, the outgoing server, correct. Okay, server settings, we do not want SSL, so you could in Windows 2000 if you wanted to, but I'm going to go with none. Username, change that appropriately. Check for new messages, yep. Clean up, expunge, inbox on exit. Yes, you do want that, or at least I recommend it. Copies and folders, place a copy in sent, drafts, archives. Yep. Composition and addressing. I changed this to start reply above the quote. Junk settings, I let AOL handle that, so I don't have adaptive junk controls turned on. Synchronization and storage. You can opt whether or not to have the local messages cached. On a vintage PC, I'd say it's up to your discretion. I would say no, just because you want to save hard drive space, and it's just IMAP anyway. Return receipts, you can set this up if you want. Security, okay. And the account name's proper, should be anyway. And the password, save. Opening folder inbox. Okay, change the date so newest is up top. Alright. A couple more actually. Let me right click, settings, change a couple more things here. Server setting. AOL has a folder called saved. So what I would do for the archive function in Thunderbird 3 in their copies and folders is to change the archives folder to other and saved, and you can tell because it should change it. Yeah, it changes it to a little like a briefcase looking icon. So with that said, compose a mail to myself. Okay, compose to me. Test mail from TB3 in Windows 2000. Copy, paste, send. Okay, there it is. Got it. Did it put it in the sent folder like it was supposed to? It did. And change the date. Yep. We're done. Okay, so that's Windows 2000. On to the next one. Next up, Windows ME. For this one, I will be using Thunderbird 2. This will also work in Windows 98, by the way. So let's go. Okay, don't import anything. Okay, email account, my name, my email address, IMAP, imap.aol.com, smtp.aol.com. Next, incoming username, outgoing username. Next, finish. Not going to put in the password just yet. Properties, okay, server setting. Yep. Clean, expunge on exit. This does not have an archive feature, by the way, but that's okay. Yep, that looks good. Composition and addressing above the quote. Offline and disk space. Now, Thunderbird 2 does not cache IMAP messages by default, and that's fine. Junk setting, turn that off because AOL will handle that. Return receipts, set that up. Security, everything looks good. Alright, and go back to inbox. Put in the password. Change the date here. The date order, change the date order here. Okay, right. Okay, test mail from TB2 in WinME. Copy, paste, send. Password for outgoing server. Save. Okay. There it is. As soon as it decides to load. Alright, and it was sent proper. As soon as that decides that, there it goes. Alright, and that was fast and easy. We're done with this. On to the next one. Next up, Windows 98 Second Edition. Now for this one I will be using Outlook Express 6. However, before I do, it is important to note that 98 by default does not have this. You don't get Outlook Express 6 until you upgrade IE to 6.0. So if you want Outlook Express 6 here, you must upgrade to get it first. And this is the same Outlook Express 6 that is in this operating environment, Windows ME, Windows 2000, Windows XP, and yeah, that was it. You could also get this in Windows NT Workstation if you upgraded that OS to Internet Explorer 6. So let's go with that. Okay, tools, accounts, add, mail, my name, email address, IMAP server, incoming, outgoing, account name, password, next, finish, select mail account, properties, change the account name, server, yep, my server requires authentication, checkbox, settings, log on using the same username and password for the primary account, okay. If you don't do this, you won't be able to send an email. That's why you have to do this part. Connection leave as is, security leave as is, advanced, change the outgoing port to 5/8, oops. Try that again, 587. Server timeout set to 2 minutes. IMAP, the special store folders, sent items is sent. That's all you have to change here. Apply, okay, close. Would you like to download a list of folders? Yes, I would. If it decides to play nice with me. Actually, wait a minute, I might have done something wrong. Hold on. Back to accounts. Properties. Advanced. No, it should be good. Try that again. Oop, having a little bit of an issue. I might have been polling the AOL mail servers a little too much because I've been kind of doing this in rapid succession. Let me pause the video for a second. I figured out what I did wrong. I put in the wrong incoming server. imap.aol.com, not mail.aol.com. Duh. Apply, okay. Refresh, there we go. Blam. Everything's looking good in the inbox. Everything's looking good in the sent folder. Okay, compose to me. Subject, test mail from Win98 OE6. Copy, paste. Oh, that's tiny. Let me check something real quick. Tools, options, read, fonts. No, it should be proper. Why was it so tiny? Send format, yep, compose. Now let's change this to 10. Yep. Signature, maintenance, we're okay there. Store, yep. Apply, okay. New. Okay, now it looks proper. Test mail from Win98 OE6. Copy. Oh, I know why, because I was copying it from here. That's why it was getting all messed up. If I type it direct, it's okay. Send. There it is. And did it copy it to the sent folder? It did. Very good. So that is Windows 98 2nd Edition. On to the next one. Next up, Windows 95. Make sure I'm clicked in the field. There we go. Now for this one, I'm actually going to do 2 email clients. I'm going to do Outlook Express 5.5 and Thunderbird 1.5. So I'll do Outlook Express 5 first. It looks very similar to 6. Okay, tools, accounts, mail, add, mail. Display name, And I'll show you the big difference between this one and 6 in a second. It seems like an insignificant thing, what I'll point out, but once you see it, you'll realize how important it is. Okay, display name. I have an email address that I'd like to use. It's funny because in this one, you could actually specify Hotmail. It doesn't work. I want to make that clear. It doesn't work because Hotmail's changed significantly since Windows 95. But you actually could, by default, use Hotmail back in the day with Outlook Express 5.5. Okay, next, IMAP. Incoming imap.aol.com, smtp.aol.com. Outgoing, next, account name, password, next, finish, click, properties, change name. Yep, okay, servers, yep, server requires outgoing authentication. You just saw this a second ago, so you know what it is. Okay, connection fine, security fine, advanced. Change port 2587, server timeout 2 minutes, IMAP. Again, change the special store to sent. Apply, okay, close. Would you like to download folders? I would. Okay. Collapse that. There it goes. Oh, it didn't count that one as red. We'll wait. There it goes. And sent. That's looking good too. Now before, actually I'll compose the mail, then I'll show you what I was talking about. Okay. Test mail from Win95 OE55. I'm wondering if I can copy into this one. Nope, same problem. Test mail from Win95 OE55. And send. Ta-da! There it is. I'll wait till it's red this time. There's a reason it pauses. I'll show that in a second. Alright, it's marked as red. And copy to the sent folder. Now, in the options area, the reason it pauses is because it says mark message read after being displayed for 5 seconds. It's better off you change that to 0. Now, you'll also notice that there, in this same area, there is no option to read messages as plain text. This option did not exist until Outlook Express 6. So when you're in Outlook Express 5.5 or below, you're forced to read everything in HTML format, which is kind of crappy. But what are you going to do? Okay, now on to Thunderbird. Yep, there it is, Thunderbird. Come on, Win95. All right, there we go. Now this is really interesting because look at all these importers it used to have when you set up a new profile. You could do Netscape 6, 7, or Mozilla 1.x, Outlook Express, Outlook, Netscape, Eudora. It would import from all that stuff. That was pretty cool. It's obviously doesn't have that anymore, but that was kind of neat. So don't import anything. Next. The setup is roughly similar to Thunderbird 2. So, new email account, my name, my email address, IMAP server, imap.aol.com, smtp.aol.com, outgoing, next, incoming username, outgoing username, next, finish, skip the password for the time being, right click, properties. Let's see, okay, server setting, expunge on exit, copies and folders, everything's good here, composition and dressing, start above the quote, offline disk space, very similar to Thunderbird 2, return receipt, set that up, security, check the outgoing server real quick, yep, oh, I change that to 587, okay. Alright, click out, click in, password, save, okay, Yahoo, change the date order, Alright, go to Sent, change the date order. I really like the way Thunderbird 1 looks. If you're wondering, this is version 1.5.0.14. This is what I believe to be the last Thunderbird that worked in Windows 95. Anything above 1.5 does not work in 95, but that's okay. And compose a message. Okay, to myself. Test mail from Win95 TB 1.5. Copy, paste, send. Put in the password for the outgoing server. Save. Okay. There it is. Sent it. And did it copy? Yes, it did. And that is Windows 95. And now on to the oldest, Windows 3.1. Okay, last but not least. Actually, yeah, it is least. Windows 3.11 for workgroups. I'm going to do two clients in here. Outlook Express 5.0 and Netscape Communicator 4.06. Since the last time you saw me use this, yes, I have added quite a few things into this retro setup that I have here. Most notably, Microsoft Office 4.3, which in fact is actually quite capable. Comes with Word 6, Excel, I think it's 5. Yep, Excel 5. I love the retro look. I love the way it works because it's just really easy to get around. Small note on Excel. Prior to Office 2000, Excel had a row limitation. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood. It was either 15 or 32,000 rows or something like that. And if you're thinking, who would use an Excel sheet that big? Believe me, I've known people that have. So if you do use an old version of Excel prior to Office 97 or earlier, bear in mind there is that limitation. Other than that, it works great. So anyway, on to the mail here. Outlook Express 5 obviously does not come with Windows 3.1 initially. You have to update this operating environment to IE 5.0, and it comes bundled with Outlook Express 5.0. So let's get into that. Okay, Tools, Accounts, Add, Mail. My name. My email address. Specify as IMAP. Incoming imap.aol.com, outgoing smtp.aol.com. Next. Log on using username and password. Next. You can actually specify the name of the account here, which I like. You don't have to do it separately. This does not escape you from going into the settings and having to modify a few things afterward, though, which you'll see in a second. Next. Finish. Would you like to download folder list? I would, which it did. Select account. Actually, it's easier to go to mail. Select account. Properties. Servers. My outgoing server requires authentication. Setting, log on using. Take care of that. Security can leave untouched. Outgoing server will be 587. Server timeout 2 minutes. Apply. Okay. Close. Open her up. Inbox. There's all the mail. And sent folder. There's all the mail there too. Now, before I send out a test mail, unless I am mistaken, and I don't believe I am, there is no way to specify that sent mail from an IMAP account goes to sent on the IMAP mail server. It will go here instead as a local copy. So what will happen is you'll have to drag it into the sent folder afterward. Small trade-off considering how old it is. Now I went into accounts and I went to, oops, I don't want to remove it. Go to properties and there's no area here to set a specific store folder for sent. You have to accept sent items by default. You can do the root folder path, but I don't think that's going to help us here. And when I went to Tools and Options, I could see nothing in here. Nothing at all, really. That would it would be in Advanced, if anywhere, and it does not have anywhere to set a sent, where to place sent mail. So, drawback. But anyway, I'll compose a message to myself. Test mail from Windows for Workgroups, OE 5.0. And by the way, just to show this, it is Outlook Express 5.0. Test mail from Windows for Workgroups, OE 5.0. And send. Sending, sending, sending. Let's refresh the inbox. There is the mail. And then you'll notice sent items is where the sent mail is. So I take this and drag it over to sent on the IMAP side. And there it is. So it works. So that's that for Outlook Express 5.0. A couple other things I'll note. The Stationery, I don't even know why they mention it in this mail client, because there's essentially almost nothing you can do for Stationery here. You can specify your font, which actually I'll bump up to 10, and a signature. You can do that, but I can't specify a background color or graphic in Stationery. I can, however, do that when composing a message. So if I'm in here and I go Format, Style, actually that's not Style, I know it is, oh there it is, Background. So if I want to specify a background picture or color, like say, I don't know, yellow, I can do it here. And yes, that is quite disgusting, but I can do it from New Message, but not from Stationery itself. And concerning the address book, this is the most plain Jane thing you have ever seen in your life, but it does work. So if I do a new contact, I can set it up here. I would not suggest using the address book though here, because I don't think there's any way to export it. You can copy the MAB file, but I don't even know anything that would understand that these days. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. And I don't think there's anything else I wanted to mention here. No, not really. Well, there is the layout. If you wanted to put, say, an Outlook bar. Oh, yeah, there is something cool about this actually. This is the only Outlook I know, as I think. I don't think Outlook Express 6 does this. It might. I don't think it does. You can actually specify the buttons to be on the bottom of the client instead of the top. So if I want them on the bottom, and I want the Outlook bar and the folder bar, check out what happens. That's pretty sweet. Let me just move this panel out. Try to, anyway. Come on. Oh, it's because I got the folder bar, that's why. Hold on. Change it again. Let's not have the folder bar. This is supposed to be resizable. I don't believe it is. It's supposed to be anyway. I'm trying to get it just right. Well, whatever. It's wonky, it's old Windows, what do you want? But anyway, the cool thing is I can have these on the bottom, and the right click actually does work and get rid of the text labels and have them real tiny like. But let me put it back the way it was. Okay, no Outlook bar. Top with text. Apply. Okay, and I know this one resizes right. There we go. Much better. So you can do kind of interesting things here if you want to. I mean, nothing crazy, but it's kind of cool that it has it. Okay, now I'm going to do Netscape Mail. This is Netscape Communicator 4.06. This has a very wonky way of working. It is not simple. Not at all. It does work. Barely. But anyway, let's get to it. So I'm going to create a new profile. Actually, I got to show how that's done. In Netscape Communicator Pro 406, there is a user profile manager. And I erased the profile so I could begin anew here. That's how you do that. And I also created a Netscape mail icon. What I did is I made a little shortcut here. The way to view the properties of a shortcut is by highlighting it and Alt-Enter, and then you get to see it right here. And on the command line, I put -mail on the end of it, so it would just go directly to mail. Alright, let's go. So, next, name, email address, profile name. You notice it chopped off a letter in the directory. That's because of 8.3, meaning maximum 8 characters for a folder name or a file name with a 3-character extension, so it had to get rid of the A on the end of my profile. Okay, so my name, my email address, my outgoing mail server. Now, this one is kind of weird because I cannot specify a port anywhere in the GUI, so I have to put a :587 here. So it's SMTP AOL.com 587, and then it will work with the outgoing port. And it's old school, but it works. So we'll do next. Now the mail server username, this one's very particular in Netscape, and at least in Windows 3.1 Netscape. It does not recognize @ symbols in username, so ordinarily the name would be this, the full email address. Fortunately, for email addresses ending in aim.com or AOL.com, you don't have to include that. You can just have the front, as in the front username, without the @ and the domain, top-level domain after it. So it can be just this. And then the incoming server, which is imap.aol.com, and select as imap. And yeah, it has to be just username, no @ symbol, no domain, no top-level domain, because it won't work. So we have to do it this way. If you are using an email account aside from AOL that requires the @ and the rest of the email address, it's not going to work here. I'm just letting you know. Not that you would use this client, but just in case you're crazy enough to do it, you should know that. So anyway, next. Newsgroup server, we don't have to worry about that. And it fires up. And it prompts for the password, which I put in and hit OK. And there she is. There's the mail. So I date sort it by newest. By newest first. The folder selection is done from here. This is how it's done. So I'll do the sent folder. Similar to Outlook Express 5.0, this does not have any option to send mail to the sent folder on the IMAP server. It will put it into its own local sent folder, so you have to do the drag and drop thing. Let me move this over here a little bit so you can see the rest of it. Also, what's cool about it, if I drop this down, the right click actually, if I do mail, yeah, actually I don't need a right click, I'm sorry. You just drop this and just do mail on, and it will bring up a complete folder list over here. So anyway, you can see all the mail is working here, and now, excuse me, I'll compose a mail to myself. New message. And yet again, this is one of those really cool looking mail clients. It just looks neat all around. Subject, test mail from Netscape for 06, actually I'm sorry, Windows for Workgroups, Netscape for 06. Copy, paste, send. And it's sent. Now you notice it's not in the sent folder because it's in the local sent folder, so I have to go here. And actually, you know what? I don't know how to copy it. Actually, wait, do I do file message? Yeah, okay, that's how I do it. I have to go, I right click. The right click actually does work. There's not a lot of right clicking in Windows 3.1, but it does work here. So I file the message, I right click, go to file message, and you have to know which one it is actually, which would be the one down here. So I do it to send. Oh, can't copy. Oh no, it was the first one. I'm sorry. File message to, I got it wrong, so let's do this one. Okay, and then if I go to sent, yeah, because it's in top order, that's why. If I go to sent over here, there it is, and it copied, and it worked. And this is the oldest mail client here because it says copyright 1994 through 1998. This is a 1998 mail client, which I believe is even older than Outlook Express 5. So the fact this even works is incredible. So let me close this out and relaunch Outlook just to check the age here. Yeah, 1999. So this is actually 1 year newer. But the Netscape one is 1 year older. And we go back into it. It prompts for yeah, I forgot to make it save password, which is buried, by the way. And I'll show that before closing this out. Let's see. Edit preferences, mail server. I think it's under more options. Yep, there it is. Remember my mail password. Okay, okay. Let me maximize this window. Actually, we don't need this little thing here either. Close. So there is the mail client. As far as trying to make this look different, there's not really too many options here. As far as like just getting a folder list on the left, because it sticks it here by default, and I can minimize it, but I don't believe I can move it. Yeah, no, I can't. And there's no right clicking anywhere here too, so you pretty much got to deal with it. You can hide it. Yeah, I can't see any of that stuff here. But it does work. So that's it, guys. A whole bunch of mail clients, and AOL works all the way back to Windows 3.1. So if you're going to go retro, AOL Mail is a good choice.